Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Kathy Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Hey, private practice heroes, it's Kathy Colaiacovo, and thanks for tuning in today because I want to share with you some ideas on making plans to get more leads to your practice or business versus missing out on the leads, which I see happening time and time again. New leads to your practice are the path to more growth with your business. And no matter what you call people who could be potential clients for your business or your practice, if you call them leads, maybe you call them prospects, the reality is every business needs a steady flow of leads to have a steady flow of potential clients to work with. One of the best ways to do this is to have a plan for generating those new leads consistently. You can certainly do this manually and try collecting names and emails from offline activities like in-person events and networking activities. And to be honest, that should be part of your overall marketing plans. But in the world of online marketing and instant gratification, having an online way for people to become a lead and collect their information is one of the most effective ways that you can build that steady flow of leads into your business. Lead generation really should work in conjunction with your offline marketing and networking too. They have to follow hand in hand. So you want to make sure that you're doing both of these. Offline and online marketing is what I always like to make sure my clients and people in my programs are doing. And that's often where the success with new clients are coming from. They're either from leads people are getting at networking events or connecting with referral partners, or they're coming in from the ways they've got set up for people to find out what their business is all about, how they can help people, and giving people a little taste of what you can do with them if they were your client. This is often where having a lead magnet comes into play to make this happen. Now, if the term lead magnet is new to you or just confusing, let's clear that up right now before we go any further. A lead magnet is something that can help your ideal client. It can show up in a variety of forms like a PDF report or a guide, a free quiz. Maybe you have a free video series, a webinar, a masterclass, a white paper. Take your pick. There's so many types of lead magnets that you could use for your lead generation. And if you want to check out episode 13 of the podcast, I actually share 20 types of lead magnets that will inspire you with some ideas if you don't have any clue as to what you should have for a lead magnet right now. And I'll link to that episode in the show notes. The main strategy, though, that you want to think about with any lead magnet is that it offers something that will pique the interest of people so much so that they're willing to give you their name and email in order to get that thing you have to help them out, your lead magnet. But setting up the systems to make sure the delivery of this lead magnet happens effectively is something a lot of people actually skip. The system in this case is what we call our lead generation funnel. And too often I see business and practice owners skipping the basics of their lead generation funnel to just get that lead magnet out there. And in this quest to get it done, they skip some of the most important elements of your lead generation system and funnel. Because lead generation is way more than just getting people's names and emails and giving them whatever that free thing is that you have to offer, your lead magnet. Lead generation involves key elements in the funnel that help not only get that lead on your email marketing list, but that nurtures them as well and nurtures that person so they can see the possibilities that can happen when you work with them. We call this entire process a lead generation system or funnel because it implies we're creating a path or a journey for people to take. And it's a journey that is so much more than click here and get your lead magnet. That's not a journey. That's what we call a marketing quickie. And it's not a funnel at all. And I know you know this if you've been listening to my podcast at all, or even reading my newsletters for the past 15 years. I've been sending them out there. You know how important lead generation is to the growth of your practice or your business. Yet some people still make the biggest mistake ever when it comes to their lead generation. I saw it just the other day on a website I was checking out online. The therapist in question was offering something free to people, but when I clicked the link to get the free thing, guess what happened? It opened up in a window for me to just save the file, and that was it. That was what I got right away, that lead magnet. And anyone could get an item like that. They didn't need to enter a name and email. Nothing was required to get it. So it was a free item being given away even more free than I ever recommend. And honestly, it was a really cool lead magnet, and it was very helpful for a client of a therapist. So it was an awesome lead magnet to have, but they were just giving it away. And there are many ways that you can go about building leads online. And one main marketing activity people do is the lead generation using a lead magnet. And your audience out there, they're expecting that too. So when you skip the process, they're just fine by it. They have no problem with that. If they can click and just download that item, that's even better for them. They didn't have to do usually the cost, the payment, which is entering their name and email. But here's the thing. When you just give that item away, it's no longer a lead magnet. It is simply a giveaway because you're not doing any lead generation at all. Not when somebody gets what they want or what they need, just by clicking a link and bam, they've got it. You get nothing about them except maybe you see that there was a visitor from your Google Analytics on that website page. That's it. That's all you get. You don't get a name. You don't get an email. You don't get any knowledge about that person at all. There is no lead generation happening when you give your items away for free like this. What is happening is that you're missing out on a key opportunity to build that list of names and emails of people who could be potential clients for your business. Instead, they just come there, they click, they get what they want, and they can move on. Now, sure, there might be some businesses out there who can afford to do this. You know, the Coca-Colas of the world, maybe. And yes, I did check on their website, and there are no easy to find lead magnets on their site either. But guess what? You're not Coke. And I suspect you do not have a billion-dollar business and budget. Not yet, anyhow. What you do have is a business or a practice that needs clients at your door. And leads are the way to get those clients. So if you're giving away anything like this right now, you need to reconsider this tactic because it really is a giveaway. It is not a lead generation tactic at all. And I get it. It's a lot easier to just have a spot where you have people click a link and get what they need. It's so much easier than setting up a lead generation system in a funnel. But you're missing out on so many opportunities when you do this. Honestly, you are just shooing people away from your door and you probably don't even realize it. So I want to be sure that you understand what you're missing when you do give away a lead magnet for free. And by free, I really mean freer than free because most lead magnets are actually free. The cost is only that name and email. So when I talk about this and I talk about giving it away for free, I mean absolutely free. They do nothing but click a button and get whatever they need. So let's dive a little bit deeper into some of the reasons why private practice owners should always prioritize lead generation and collect name and email addresses instead of simply giving away their lead magnet for free. So here are my top 5 reasons you should never, ever give away a lead magnet for free. Number 1, 100% you're missing out on leads. A person who downloads your lead magnet has shown a clear interest in your services and what you have to offer. By not capturing their information, you're potentially missing out on a pre-qualified lead, a warm lead, someone that could convert into a paying client. But you have no idea who they are because they got your item and they left your website. there's no follow-up in the process at all. The second reason you never want to give away a lead magnet for free is because you're not building an email list then. And an email list is a valuable asset for any practice or business, especially if you have thoughts of succession in the future and selling your business. Those names and emails are gold. They count as an asset when you want to sell off your business and move on. Even if a lead doesn't convert immediately, having that name and email on your list means there's potential for future clients, especially as you nurture them with your consistent content in your emails, because you've been listening to my podcast and you know what I mean by doing that. And those people might not be ready now, but with that consistent value, that consistent engagement, they could become clients down the road. I've had so many clients who have told me stories about people who were on their list for years before they reached out to sign up and work with them. So if you don't have those names, there's no nurturing and there's no future clients to be had there. The other bonus to having your own email list of leads and building that list is that you're not relying on social media platforms as your only way to have a community of potential clients. An email list is something you own and control. You decide when and where you send the information directly to the people, not an algorithm. Plus, if you're like many people I've dealt with who've had their social media accounts closed or limited because they supposedly broke the rules, well, that's not a possibility with your email list. You always have a direct line to your community via that email marketing system. You're paying that email system to have the account and to do the collection of names and emails. It's not like Facebook just decides, oh, well, you kind of put something out there today and we've decided you've broken the rules and bam, your account's frozen. And that means you've lost your access to the community if the only way you have access to them is in a Facebook group you have set up or your page or on your Instagram. Building your email list is a critical part of building your business for the future. When you give away your lead magnets for free, you're giving away any opportunity to build that list. The other thing that's really important about building these leads by collecting the names and emails and not giving away the lead magnet without that information is you can build a long-term relationship. That's one of the primary objectives of a lead magnet. It's not just to give the value that they get from that item they download from you right away. You want to start building a relationship with potential clients. Once you get their email, you can now send them information and give them even more value and nurture that relationship with them over time. When you give that lead magnet away without an email in return, it's a one-off interaction. It's that quickie I mentioned earlier. Capturing an email means you have the opportunity for multiple touch points, and it gives you an opportunity as well for continued and consistent engagement. That's how you're going to build that trust in you and your expertise. And that's what's going to lead to more clients. The fourth reason that you should make sure that you're never giving away your lead magnet absolutely free is because you're missing any opportunity to position your authority and your credibility. When you have that regular communication via email after someone has signed up for your lead magnet, it gives you an opportunity to further position yourself as an authority in your field. You build that credibility and trust that I mentioned earlier. Both of these are crucial for converting these leads into clients, especially when it comes to working with practitioners. Your clients are dealing with deeply personal issues. They need to know and trust that you're the person to help them out. And you can keep your name just top of mind by sending them consistent email communications. The act of simply seeing your name in their inbox with a from email can be enough to do this. I had this happen with a client one time that argued she didn't want to do email marketing. And we talked about whether or not it's helpful or not. She was coming from the point of view she didn't want to inundate people with information in their inboxes because she didn't like getting it. But I showed her that even for people whose emails she signed up for, who she doesn't open them, she still knew who they were, what they did, and what they had to offer. So just the act of sending an email is enough to nurture people even if they don't open the email all the time. Plus, even if the person doesn't require your services right now, the minute they download the lead magnet, they may know somebody else who does. And that regular communication and relationship building may prompt them to refer other people to your practice as well. So, positioning your authority and credibility is key. And when you just give away that lead magnet for free with a click of a button, you're not having any opportunity to do this either. And the last reason that you want to make sure that you're doing your lead generation without just simply giving people the lead magnet and not collecting the name and email is that you're not able to track any stats and see the ROI on those efforts. And of course, I'm going to mention this one. Tracking your stats and knowing your numbers is key to knowing if what you're doing is working and if your time is worth it. For many private practices, creating a lead magnet like an ebook or hosting a webinar or offering a free guide, setting that up requires an investment of time, money, and resources. And I know that costs you to set it up, but when you use a lead generation system and funnel, you're using systems that also have data and information that it can give you. You can track how many leads are being generated from the system. You can know what's working or not so that you know what to optimize or improve to change the results and get even more leads built up. And if you need a template to get started tracking your stats, be sure to download my free stats tracking template. I'll link to that in the show notes. It gets you started with some of the basic numbers that any business or practice owner should be keeping track of on a regular basis. These numbers can tell you a lot of information, so always be sure that you're tracking your stats. If you're just giving that lead magnet away, you really don't know anything more other than from your Google Analytics how many people may have visited the page. And if you're not setting anything up within the analytics, either like conversions and other things that may require a bit of an expert to help set up, you really are going to have no idea how many people downloaded it. So that's why you want to make sure you have a proper lead generation system and funnel in place so that you can see the ROI of all the time and the energy you put into it. And those are the top 5 reasons you should never just give away a lead magnet without collecting a name and email address. So to give you a recap, they are: you're missing out on leads, number 1. Number 2, you want to be building your email list. Number 3 is doing this lead generation in this way helps you build those longer term relationships. And number 4, it also helps you position your authority and credibility. And number 5, when you have the information where you can track the stats and numbers, you're going to see that ROI. This will give you all the information you need to know if that lead generation, if that lead magnet is working for you. And I get that the immediate appeal of not having to take the time to set things up can be a lot easier. You kind of have that no strings attached lead magnet where people can just click and download it. And in the moment, it might seem really beneficial, but it's really a short-sighted strategy when it comes to your marketing. If you want long-term growth, relationship building, and maximizing your ROI, collecting email addresses and using a lead generation system and having a lead generation funnel is going to be critical for private practice owners, especially if you're looking to grow your business and thrive. And more importantly, when you're looking to do that for the long game. Running a business is a marathon, and it's the biggest one of your life if you want it to sustain you for years to come. So your action step from today's lesson, I want you to go look at your own lead generation system and the tactics that you're using. Are you using a short-term approach because it was easier to set up? Or are you playing the long game here? If you had that easy setup that does not have a real good way to collect names and emails for your lead generation, think about what you've been missing. Look at these 5 reasons that you never want to give away that lead magnet for free, and then take some time to plan a funnel and get it up and running and working properly. Now, you can check back to episode 15, where I shared how you can plan your lead generation system to increase leads and clients. It will give you the 7 elements that you want to think about for an effective lead generation system and get you started on a new path to collecting leads with proper name and email address collection, people that you can nurture into clients. And I will put a link to that in the show notes for you as well. Now, if you take a listen to that episode and you're still not sure what to put in your own lead generation system, book a free marketing review with me. They really are free. We'll take 30 minutes, we'll go over your ideas, and I'll give you some starting steps so that you can get your lead generation funnel up and running. You can click the link in the show notes to get this free marketing review booked as well. And that will get you started right away with some smart lead generation for your private practice. The thing that we want to make sure here is that you're not just giving away things for free without getting anything in return that's going to help your business. But most importantly, when you give something away like that for that absolute free offer that I'm talking about here, without even collecting a name and email, you're just missing too many opportunities to convert the people that are interested in that lead magnet you have and get them into paying clients. This is Kathy Colaiacovo, and I just want to say thanks for listening in. And please take a minute to follow me on your favorite podcast player. Hit that follow button so you don't miss any future episodes. And I want to remind you to thrive in practice. That means having a steady flow of leads, which starts with an effective lead generation system and funnel. One where you're getting names and emails of those potential future clients. Be sure to get your lead generation system set up so that you're not just giving it away for free. And I'll see you next time. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at pepperitmarketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes.